G'day, Steve here again from City Farm at Kelso and Len's Feed Shed. Just wanted to quickly give you some feedback on what we found with a lot of the applications. And basically a lot of resumes, and people look really good, but the way they handled it, they could have done a lot better. So we just want to quickly go over about 4 or 5 key points that a lot of people made these mistakes in. Maybe you can work on that for your next time and have better results with any future applications that you do for people. So let's just kick right off into it. The first and biggest mistake was that people didn't follow the process that we laid out for them. We had a procedure to follow in order to apply for this job. We sent an email out to say we had these jobs, and to find out more about them and to find out how to apply, I want you to go and watch this video. There were 3 videos in the series, and at the end of the video we explained how to apply, which was to go to this link which had the application form on our website. So we had the after you put the application form in, it then took you to another page which gave you, I think it was 4 tasks, and one of those tasks was to email your resume. One of the tasks was to go to the website and get some information. One of the tasks was to do a personality profile, and the other task was to attend an interview. And all of that information had to be sent to a specific email address, which was one that we created especially for this job. And we also gave you my mobile number in case you had some troubles. So between 5 and 10% of the people that applied followed that process. Very few people followed that process. So that process is there for 2 reasons, and the first reason it's there for is testing people. It is testing you to see if you can follow instructions. So even though people get a bit eager and keen and all the rest of it to reply or whatever, most people just reply to the email and attach their resumes or cover letters or whatever. So instead of reading it and going, and watching that video and following those steps that we did. So that was a lot of companies do that, is that they have a sequence of tasks that they're trying to get you to do, and that's a test. That's to see if you follow instructions. The other reason that we have a process in place, particularly in this environment, in our thing, is that I wanted all the application. I didn't want the shops to be inundated with all of the emails and calls and inquiries about this job. I wanted them to come directly to me, and I work at my office at home most of the time. So by having that special email address and that direct link to me, you would have been communicating directly with me. So there was a lot of stuff going through the shops, and I don't know, we may have missed some of them. So we had a lot of emails and resumes flying left and right. We hope we got them all, but maybe we didn't either. So that's a very important part of why we had that process in place. Biggest mistake number 2, English. Poor English, poor grammar. We had lots of mainly cover letters or emails and stuff applying for it. No capital letters in the front of words that should have it. Sometimes no punctuation at all. And where people are writing letters applying for a job, in how we might text each other on the telephone or play on Facebook, and that might be fine for your friends and all the rest of it, but when you're applying for a job, you need to use proper English and good grammar, and it needs to make sense. Some of the letters that I read didn't even make sense. I couldn't understand what they were trying to say. So a good idea, if you struggle in that area, find a friend or a relative that's a bit stronger in that area, and get them to help you and get them to proofread what you're doing before you send it in. A lot of there's some to be honest with you, some of them I just throw in the bin if they're like that. I haven't got I've got 100 resumes in front of me, and if they can't use good grammar and writing, I'm just I don't have time to look at them basically. Most businesses need you to have that. Because we communicate with customers and that type of stuff, so being able to write clearly and professionally is a key ingredient for a lot of businesses. one of the third things that we find a lot of, and it's not so much for adults but particularly for children, is whether when kids want to get a job or when parents want their kids to get a job. One of the, there's a whole bunch of kids out there that want to get work, and they're very, very keen and want to do that. There's also a bunch of kids out there that their parents want them to get a job, and the kids don't want the job. So one of the telltale signs that we use is whether or not the kids come in and ask for the job themselves. If the parents come in and ask for the job, I don't know whether or not the child is that keen or not. Now, I know we understand that kids find it, scary and all that to come to a shop and ask for work, but the amount of value or the number of points that person gets for doing that, we give them a massive big tick. If the child comes to us themselves and asks for work, you get a massive, and that's across the board. Any organisation that you talk to for junior people, if they go and ask for the job themselves, they get, that is worth so much more. I would say keep the parents out of it, because I know that parents are trying to do the right thing and help the children, but they, get them to be brave, get them to come in. You can come in with them or whatever, but let the child ask and handle the process. Most employers don't treat them badly, so but it's that's a big killer. That's a big area that I see for junior people. I give a big tick when those kids come up and ask them for themselves, and a lot of the times when the parents do, the kids are only half-hearted to it. So keep your parents out of it. I hope I don't get into trouble here. And the fourth, probably the fourth area is to do with resumes and cover letters. One of the things is that when people advertise for a job, they might get 100, they might get 200. Some people tell us they get 400 applicants for a job. Now you've got 400 resumes, and all those resumes say the same thing. I'll guess what your resume says. I don't know who you are or who's listening, but I bet you on your resume you say I'm honest, I'm reliable, I'm a hard worker, I'm not a slacker, I'm not afraid of this. I can do this and I can do that. I can work anytime, and they're all great qualities. But you've got to understand that there's 400, possibly 400 other resumes saying exactly the same thing. So what that's really about is getting yourself noticed. You have got to get your resume to the top of that pile of 400 resumes or 100 resumes or whatever it is. And you have got to get the attention of whoever it is that's reading them, because they're pretty bored. That nobody likes to go through all these resumes. So put some ideas around what you can do to get the person's attention. And I'm going to give you some examples that I've seen used and that type of thing. I'll give you the example first. It's probably not appropriate, but we had a lady that phoned me up for a job and said, "Hey, I'm interested in the job. I'd like to come to the interview. I'd like to bring a carton of beer. I just want to check what sort you drink." And of course, I had to be very professional and say, "For it's gold." No, I didn't really. I said, "Look, don't bring a carton of beer." But let me tell you, I wanted to see her at that interview because she did something different. She didn't bring beer and I didn't accept beer. But at the end of the day, she got an interview, and in fact I hired her. She wasn't necessarily the normal person that I would hire, but I was so impressed, I guess, by the fact that she did something different and made herself noticeable, that she ended up getting a job. So obviously I don't recommend that you do it with a carton of beer, but do something different so that your stuff stands out. Some of the ways that you can do that is with your letters, and your cover letter can be like a little bit of marketing to the person that's reading those letters. You can have a big headline on it that says, "I guarantee not to be a pain or late or sick," or you can find me anytime at any question without questions if I do not live up to your expectations. Things like that are, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to happen. You're just getting the attention of the guy reading those things, and you're looking at what sort of frustrations or stuff that he might have that you can solve. Some of the things that people use are things called lumpy mail, and if you don't know what that means, it basically means that you attach something to your letter, so that this, like a pen is a common one, things like that, and that sort of gives, they want to open up that letter because they want to see what that is or what's attached to it. So for example, a simple one that you could do maybe, get $1 coin and sticky tape $1 coin to it, for example, and you could have there's something on the cover page that says, hire me, and you're going to start making a little bit more money. Here's the first bit here, something, that's a bit corny, but, like something along those lines. You might, maybe get a watch, go and get a cheap watch or something and stick it to it. And say, if you hire me, I'm going to do all that cleaning and stuff for you or whatever. You're going to have so much time on your hands. So it sounds corny, but it works, and it gets their attention, and it'll get you to the top of the list. And that's what you want to do. You want to get to the top of this list so that they get to see you, and you want to stand out, because if you stand out, that's what people are looking for, is people that are different, and people that shows initiative, and it brings something to the table that's different. All those 400 resumes, they may be very, very good people, and all deserving of a job. So this, the idea of this is just to give you a bit of a leg up. If you cover these areas, give something a go, try it. It's at the worst case, it's a bit of fun. But I guarantee you, if you ramp it up a bit and you do something different with those resumes or a cover letter, you're going to get yourself in front of those people, and you're going to get your chance at it. So anyway, so hopefully this has helped you out. I'm very, very appreciative of you all taking the time to apply for our jobs. And I do try to help people. Even though I can't give you a job today, maybe you can take on some of these points, and maybe that'll help you get the next job. And maybe that's helped you out anyway. Okay, all the best, and good luck getting a job. Thank you.